Hi everyone, it's Judith Klein with judithklein.com, and I'm bringing you the third video in a three-part series about my new program launch called A Journey of Self-Love for the Chakras. You will see this little guy who's decided to join me, and he was being extremely loud about all the noises in the neighborhood, so I needed to bring him in so that he would quiet down. I have actually been really struggling to record this video, this final video, because I actually get into details about the program itself. And I am going to admit how vulnerable I feel. I feel so vulnerable because I have created something that I know was channeled, and I know that there are divine downloads, and I know that I'm using my gifts in a variety of different ways, but I've never presented myself to other people quite like I will within the context of this program. And it's it's actually a little scary. It's actually a little a great feeling of vulnerability because I'm sharing from my heart and exposing that to people in a different way. And I'm choosing to move through that anyways, as difficult as it is. And so here I go. For people who don't know who I am, I'm a transformation guide and energy intuitive. And as a transformation guide, it's really about helping people find their way down difficult paths and really being a way shower, illuminating where the points are that they're feeling stuck or overwhelmed or blocked or just where a number of things have congregated and they need to be sorted out and extricated and then integrated. And so much comes up from the internal world when we go through transformations, such substantive changes in our life. And we often don't have the language, nor do we have the support, nor do we have the tools. And that is a big piece of what I choose to share as a transformation guide throughout each of the sessions that I have with individuals. And as an energy intuitive, and those of you who have had a session with me know that the energy moves, that there are a number of different things that we co-create together and that your body allows to happen. But again, it's a side where I would help teach you about how your body is communicating the energetics of what's happening, how it messages you, and what that feels like, looks like, and what you can do with that information. So those are some things about my work that I do. And the next piece I want to talk about is this opportunity, and it's really born out of my journey and all of the paths I took, places I went, struggles I had, learnings, and it's a culmination of those things. And it's a unique opportunity for me to put that those tools into um, a program that I think really is experiential in many ways, but it allows you to be educated and gain some knowledge, and then also have practical tools. And during COVID, and I know this from close family and friends, people are struggling. And what happens is when we have been on our own in COVID, again, a lot of people have gone inward. What's important? What's not? How do I see the world? How do I see myself in this relationship I'm in my career? And we've been able to ask those questions, but sometimes the answers are, okay, well, something has to change, and that becomes overwhelming. So this is a bit of an answer to those struggles that family, friends, and colleagues have had. Sharing all of this in a group with all of those who would choose to take this opportunity and creating a container of support and safety, encouragement and love, and joy and play, and creativity and fun is a powerful thing. And as every person chooses their intentions as they go into this program, I know there will be shifts and changes because we have done so in a group, and that energy that comes, even if we are in different places, because the energetic signal goes around the world in 7 seconds, and we know that we can feel the ripples of when somebody is thinking about us or somebody gets a hit, oh, I got to call somebody. That's like in seconds we feel that feeling. So think about, being in a container with other people and having an opportunity to share in some of the same intention and the same focus, which is on the chakras and the practices of self-love. So that's about the opportunity. I wanted to just add a couple more things that came out of the survey questions because, again, they were wonderful questions, and I just want to touch on two parts. One is the importance. I touched on some of that last time, the importance of the chakra system. What I wanted to add to that, in case I didn't make that as clear as I wanted to, is that there is research, there are studies now that show that these energy centers in our body actually can become distorted with disease and illness. Yet when we apply things to them, for example, like Reiki, like some energetic principles that are meant to soothe and calm, restore and love, that we can actually, that distortion in those energy fields can actually become harmonious again, and the energy will move more fluidly. And that helps to bump disease out of the body. So there are, and also the body runs like a computer. I've touched on this before, where there's an operating system in the background, and we don't really examine what is running it. And the chakras are, in fact, data banks of memory and energetic imprints. And there's programming and ideas and belief systems and experiences and trauma and pain that all exist all the way along that channel of those energy centers. And without knowing them in a more intimate way, in a more concentrated way, we really don't know then what is running that operating system, especially when we're struggling in some areas of our life. And even if we're not learning about them and then being able to pinpoint things yourself, having those tools for self healing is going to be an incredible addition to whatever else you use in your life and general practice and day to day. The other thing I wanted to mention is somebody had asked about, well, if I'm not naturally inclined to feel the energy, how is this going to work for me? What do I do? And part of this program is learning how to tune into the subtleties of how your body communicates. And you might not realize that you have been sensing things all the way along, but our egos and our minds always want to complicate things, always want to make the answer seem way more challenging or way more difficult. And in fact, it might be that you already have the sense, you've just never had somebody help you name it, or never really trusted your own instincts. And this is another piece of what you're going to learn in the program. So about the program, I have to say this is probably what I felt the most quote unquote scared about. Is it's a 7-month commitment. And when I say that, I I know that it will not feel like an onerous task and dense educational material. Really, it's a matter of taking the principle of just being, sensing, and feeling, and slowing ourselves down to the vibration of Mother Earth and learning the things that are within our very, well, our human energy field, and how that affects our body and our psyche and our emotions and our mental health. And so in doing this practice and learning and then trying some of these tools and really focusing on clearing out that which does not need to be there anymore, it would be so it could be done probably in 7 weeks if we do the seven main chakras in that way, but it would be missing the real experience and the learning and the knowing and the feeling that we need to do to really embrace and embody. And there's a big difference between theoretically, conceptually, psychologically, cognitively getting something and actually embodying the principles, which there is time in this program to do so. There are 3 tiers. So the first one is just educate me. Just give me the main teachings in whatever form they come. And in this case, it comes in video and PDF. There is, this is the main teaching on each of the chakras, and it will give you plenty, especially because the language I use is, and the way that I have infused this program with the energetics of light and the energetics of the DNA activations and the light codes that are coming in as we shift and change perceptions. All of that is still in this educational material. And you are also invited to the kickoff sacred ceremony that is a live ceremony that I'll be hosting. So that's tier 1. Tier 2 is the more in-depth approach, and there's a private Facebook group added to what you've already heard from tier 1. There is a live Q&A also once a month on each chakra. Also answering all of the questions that you might have about what you are experiencing. So it's a good hour to an hour and a half Q&A that we would do each month in that private Facebook group with regards to the chakras. There are also, at the beginning of the month, there's an opening audio recording that helps you open to the whatever you need to with regards to each chakra. And then there's the teaching material that you've heard about, and then there is the clearing and activating that needs to take place as you move through things, and where it is just a little bit more of a support, an energetic support. So that is the tier 2. And tier 3 is an immersion. This is time spent really with me on a one-to-one, one-to-one, and one distance healing session added into everything you've already heard that was in tier 2 and tier 1. There's the sacred ceremony. There's the one-on-one with me at a time that makes sense depending on what you're going through in the month. There's the audio clearing, the 2 audio clearings. There's the PDF. There's also weekly emails to support you and add in some additional resources. And that is tier 3. So just so you know, there are definitely limits to each of those levels. So each level, there's only a certain amount of people able to be in those, or else I wouldn't be able to serve you as best as I possibly can. So that's the first thing to know. This goes live on Friday. Friday is the launch. So watch for emails on this. And also, if you do jump in and get in and pay in full, because there will be payment options, but if you pay in full right off the hop, you will also get a 30-minute session with me at whatever level you choose. A 30-minute session with me really to help you clarify your intentions as you go into this program. So truly, from my heart to yours, I am absolutely excited and focused on bringing you the best of everything that I can within the context of this program. And to your peace, health, and resilience, we'll be seeing each other soon. And you'll hear from me. Thanks. Bye for now.